grab your planner. If you want to just watch me kind of go through the things I look at, hey, sit back, be comfortable, get your water, get your tea. But if you want to engage, if you want to follow the exact same things I'm doing, get your planner ready. That is all you need. What is going on, you guys, and welcome to my Sunday reset video. This is going to be following a very, very different flow from my normal videos, and that's on purpose. Sunday is a day where I really try to reset. We are not going to be covering my full day like my last few vlogs, but today we're more so going to be focusing on the planning portion of my Sunday reset. So let's dive into it. So the planner I currently use and what I want to discuss with you is basically everything that I'm thinking and what's going through my mind as I prepare for Monday, Tuesday, and the rest of the week to come. Basically, my execution plan of everything I want to cover and complete for the next 7 days. So as we dive into this, I'm going to walk you guys through everything I'm looking at, on a smaller scale, and then also things that I'm looking on a much bigger, or a macro scale. I try not to look, too far out into the future or plan too far out into the future because that often adds, stress, anxiety. We have a lot more of things, flowing through our mind. But I basically want you to have a very simple understanding of what I'm looking at. The planner that I use, it's called SmartPlanner. We'll try to zoom in right on this SmartPlanner. Plan smarter, live better. They got an Instagram page, Pinterest page, Facebook page. And this is actually the second year in a row that I'm using this. And the reason why I love this is because it gives you an ultimate breakdown, but not too much, right? We don't want to be writing too many different places, too many different spots of where our goals are. We want to try to keep everything in one central location. The awesome thing about this is that they don't put any dates in here. This is a 13-month notebook. They don't put, the months. They don't put the days. They leave it an open slate for the creator to fine-tune it, adjust it, and use it as they would like. So that is what's awesome. You could put goals. You could put, a day-to-day thing. So aside from the monthly portion, they also have a daily portion, which breaks it down in a weekly view and allows you to, map out the next 7 days in a calendar standpoint. Then, of course, at the end, there's empty pages where you can fine-tune, write whatever you would like in there. But for the most part, I usually just stick to the monthly lookout, and then I break it down to the weekly as well. Don't think that you're limited or you need a special planner like this. I started from the very beginning just using a lined notebook. This is something I've just, grown into. So just because you might not have this one or just because you might not like the one you have, don't let that hold you back from creating or starting to plan out your days. This has been probably the single best thing I've implemented that's allowed me to see, tremendous growth continuously in my weeks and my months, to come. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll look at the monthly portion of this video. I will put some B-roll over here. This way you guys can see kind of what I'm looking at. But yeah, in the monthly portion, I'll have different goals for myself. So for example, the way I break it down is I have personal goals, I have business goals, I have investing goals, and I have finance goals. So what I'll do when I'm looking at my monthly, goals is I'll analyze, hey, am I on track to, complete these all by the end of the month? If I completed something this week, I'll cross it out. Now I know, okay, I have less things that I need to complete. And when I'm analyzing those, and if I see, hey, this is something I got to get started on, this is something I'm behind on, or hey, this is something, I totally forgot about, now I'll implement it in the upcoming week. So that is the very, very first thing that I'm doing. I'm basically analyzing my goals, asking myself questions, right? Questions are the best way to guide our progress, best way to, self-reflect, see how you're doing, what you can improve on. So if I understand that there's something that I did not start, I could ask myself questions. Hey, why am I procrastinating on this? Is this something I just simply forgot about? Or is this something, I've been kind of pushing off? So I'll start with that, look at that. If there's anything I know I got to get going on, I'll write that into my weekly point of view. I'll then go over to my weekly schedule. What I'll do, and that's another thing, they got, dividers. They got different, strings that can help you divide your notebooks. So it's awesome to navigate. Makes it super easy to, go through page to page. For the second part of my planning, I look at the weekly breakdown. Okay, so the weekly breakdown, the first thing that I look at is my habits from the prior week. how is my execution point through it. And that's another great thing with this notebook is it gives you a habit tracker. So for the 4 habits that I set for myself last week, every single day you can cross off, hey, I did it. So looking at last month, there was one day where I didn't execute one of the habits that I had for myself. And as I reflect back, I know that exact moment, I know that exact experience and thoughts that were going through my mind, and I know that's something I'm going to overcome this week. So out of all 7 days, out of all 4 habits, only one day did I miss one of those habits. So pretty solid week. And that's again where we go back to the questioning. And that also leads us to the 3rd phase of my weekly planning and reset. The 3rd phase is asking myself questions. Hey, what did I do good last week? Okay, I executed 7 days or 6 days completely and then fell off, the one day with the one habit. If I were to continue to execute this way, would I be making the progress or the strides that I'm aiming for in my life, in my business, in my health, right? So now asking that, I'll self-reflect on those questions. And then the final thing I'll ask myself, hey, out of my last week's performance, what can I do next week that is going to help me improve? So maybe that means, creating a different habit. Maybe that means, setting out for myself to do more, finalizing or, retouching up some of my schedules. But for the most part, we want to keep our habits the same. You would much rather execute on a small, strong habits than have 30 different things you're trying to do in the day that are not going to move you in the way you would like. All right, they're just going to be distractions. They're going to be a lot of, just checking off the box just for you to feel good about yourself, but they are not going to bring the growth and development towards your life goals on the things you are trying to achieve. So just to go back real quick, right, we started off this, we looked at our full scale monthly goals. We analyzed that, saw what we are on track to hit, saw what we need to start, working on or accomplishing. Then we dived into my weekly point of view. Hey, last week, this week, how well did I execute? Then we went over to the phase 3 of it. We went through some self-reflection questions, asking, hey, if I continue to do this, would I make the progress I want? What can I do better? What do I need to do, next week that I didn't do this week? Basically helping us guide our progression forward. All right, the 4th and final thing that I will do is I will look at my to-do from this past week, and see if there's anything in there that I didn't complete. Now, if there was something in there that I didn't complete, I will go over to this upcoming week and I will put that in this week's to-do. Then, after I do that, I will go back, see if there was anything that, I completed that was a continuous task. Maybe this is something I do every single week. And then I'll also roll those things into this week's schedule. The final step of that phase is me just knowing, hey, is there anything that I need to do this upcoming week that might have just popped in my head that I know I need to, implement, something new, something, that I'm progressing forward into. For example, I have something in here that was a second part to something. Meaning this previous week I completed something, and the only way I can move on to this new thing that I have in my schedule means that I had to complete that portion. This week I completed it, so I did already go ahead in the middle of this past week and already write it on this schedule. This way I didn't, there wasn't no chance of me forgetting it. That is a real simple breakdown. I am going to take some time right now and go through this and fill it out myself. Feel free to fill it out on your own. But if not, that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this type of video, and I hope you guys, found some relaxing time with me. If this is something you want to come back to, be sure to save it. And if you want to see some different aspects, feel free to subscribe, comment down below, and let me know what you would like to see. Thank you for spending the day with me or the night with me. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.